Hello students, in the previous video we learned about various tissues. Now these tissues of different types like epithelial, connective, muscular, neural, they join together to make up different organs. For example, a heart or stomach or liver is an organ. Now these organs they join together to make organ systems. Organ systems would be systems like circulatory system, excretory system, digestive system. So each organ system is coordinated properly and it performs several functions. Now let us study about the morphology and anatomy of an earthworm. So earthworm belongs to the phylum Annelida. They are annelids. They belong to the class Oligochaeta, genus Ferritima, species Postuma. Earthworm, as we all know, is a reddish-brown terrestrial invertebrate. Invertebrate means it does not have a backbone. It inhabits the upper layer of the moist soil. So generally we find them in areas where the soil is pretty moist. During daytime, they live in burrows. They are small, hollow regions which are made by them by boring and swallowing the soil. So if we look at the earthworm's body, then it is a long cylindrical body with various segments. We can look at it from both the sides, dorsal and ventral side. The dorsal surface of the body is marked by a dark median mid-dorsal line, that is the dorsal blood vessel, along the longitudinal axis. Whereas if you look at the ventral side, then it has the genital opening. It usually consists of about 100 to 120 segments. The first segment forms the buccal segment, which bears the mouth, and a lobe, which is the prostomium. This prostomium, it covers the mouth. It also has sensory function and it is used to open the cracks in the soil into which the earthworm. So in a mature worm, segments 14 to 16 are covered by a dark band of glandular tissue called clitellum. The body has three parts: precliterar, cliterar and postcliterar. There are four pairs of spermatical apertures. They are found in the ventrolateral side of intersegmental grooves, that is between 5th to 9th segment. The female genital aperture is present in the 14th segment and the male genital aperture is present in the lateral side of the 18th segment. There are numerous pores called nephridopores which are present on the surface of the body. In each body segment except the first, last and clitellum, there are rows of S-shaped setae which are present. They can be extended or retracted. They help in locomotion. So the body wall of the earthworm is composed of outermost thin non-cellular cuticle. Then there is epidermis, which is made up of single layer of columnar epithelial cells. Now, if you remember, we have studied about these cells in our previous videos. They contain secretory gland cells which secrete different substances. And then we have two muscular layers, circular and longitudinal, and then the innermost coelomic epithelium. If we look at the digestive system, then there is a straight alimentary canal going from the first to the last segment. We see a terminal mouth, then we have the buccal cavity. These first three segments consist of that. Then there is a muscular pharynx. Then we have esophagus from the 5th to the 7th segment. Esophagus is the tube through which the food goes in. Then we have got a muscular gizzard from 8th to 9th segment. Then we have the stomach from 9 to 14th segment. Then intestine, which is very long, from 15th to the last segment, and at the end there will be an anus. This gizzard, it helps to grind the soil particles and decaying leaves, because this is what the earthworm will survive on. Then there are calciferous glands present in the stomach to neutralize the acid which is present in the humus. Humus is the fertile layer of the soil. If we look at the segment below the intestine, then a pair of short conical intestinal KK project from the intestine to the 26th segment. The characteristic feature of the intestine of the 26th segment, except the last, that is the 23rd and 25th segment, is the presence of internal median folds of dorsal wall called typhlosole. This increases the effective area of absorption so that the earthworm can absorb things very easily. If we look at the circulatory system, then they have got a closed type circulatory system, which consists of blood vessels, capillaries, and a heart. There are contractions which keep the blood circulating in one direction. This is very important so that there is no backflow of the blood. There are blood glands on 4th, 5th, and the 6th segment which produce phagocytic blood cells and hemoglobin, which is dissolved in the blood plasma, that is the liquid portion of the. If we look at the respiratory system, then earthworm has no specialized system to respire. Gas exchange occurs through the moist body surface. Now, if you notice, earthworm does not have a very complex body structure. So, gas exchange can occur very easily in earthworm. The excretory organs in the earthworm are segmentally arranged in coiled tubules which are called nephridia. There are of three types. They are septal nephridia, integumentary nephridia, and pharyngeal nephridia. Now, if we look at the pharyngeal nephridia, then they are present in the 4th, 5th, and 6th segment in form of these paired tufts. Then we have the integumentary nephridia. They are attached to the lining of the body wall present in segment 3 to the last segment. They open on the body surfaces, right? Then we have got the septal nephridia. They are found on both sides of the intersegmental septa, from segment 15 to the last segment. They open into the intestine. The funnel-shaped part of the nephridium collects the excess fluid from the coelom. The funnel connects with the tubular part of the nephridium, which delivers the waste into the digestive tube, and this is how substances are generally excreted. Now, if we look at the nervous system, then it includes segmentally arranged ganglia on the ventral paired nerve cord. The nerve cord is found in the anterior region, that is between the 3rd and 4th segment, and it divides and encircles the pharynx and joins the cerebral ganglia dorsally to form nerve ring. The nerve ring with the cerebral ganglia represents the brain. The sensory system includes light and touch sensitive receptor cell. So, an earthworm is actually sensitive to both the senses, the touch sense and the light sense, but it does not actually have any eyes. Then it also has chemoreceptors. That is, the receptors which are sensitive to chemicals, or we can call them the taste receptor. They will respond to any change in the chemical stimuli. Now, the earthworm is bisexual. So it has both male and the female organs. It has two pairs of testes on the 10th and 11th segment. The vas deferentia runs up to the 18th segment where they join the prostatic duct. There are two pairs of accessory glands found on the 17th and 19th segment. Then they have the common prostate and spermatic duct, which opens to the exterior by a pair of male genital pores. There are four pair of spermatheca located in the 6th and the 9th segments. They receive and store the spermatozoa during copulation. So, as I told you, it is bisexual. Apart from the male organs that we saw, it also has female characteristics. So, it has a pair of ovaries at the 12th and the 13th segment, along with the ovarian funnels, oviduct, which join together and open as a single median female genital pore at the 14th segment. During mating, two worms exchange sperms with each other. They mate juxtaposing out opposite the gonadal openings, exchanging the spermatophores, that is basically packet of sperms. The mature sperm, egg cell, and the nutritive fluid are deposited in cocoons produced by gland cell of the clitellum. We have always heard that earthworms are friends of farmers. That is because they make burrows in the soil, that is small holes in the soil, which makes the soil porous, which helps in respiration and penetration of the developing plant roots. So the plants can exchange all the gases, oxygen, CO2 very easily. The process of increasing fertility of soil by earthworm is called vermicomposting. They are also used as bait in game fishing. I hope you all understood about the morphology and anatomy of earthworm. In the coming videos, we will look at the morphology and anatomy of cockroach and frog. Thank you.